the battery in question. As you can see, I have the battery right here. Doesn't seem to be any swelling yet. I've flown this well over 10 times. Looks to be good. And if I put it on a charger, I'm looking at 4.35 volts. It always takes a little while to get one of the cells all the way up. And that's the same thing with the white batteries on these balanced chargers. So I'll just go ahead and eject it and take it out and see how long of flight time I get. Right, gonna put the 4200 milliamp in, turn it on. All right, got enough GPS satellites, so I'll go ahead and take off. Oh, gotta bind it.
Refresh the return point. Please mind the return position.
Okay, so I have it hovering. I'll go ahead and record also, just to show it heating up. Battery, I'm showing 100% right now. So I'll just let it hover for a few. Maybe I'll take it out and fly it a little bit, and we'll see how long it takes to drain the battery. Now, one thing to note when you have this aftermarket battery in, is that the battery voltages, the battery voltage on the right, sometimes will seem like it drops rapidly, but then it will kind of steady out and sit at the same battery for a while. So right now it's sitting at 85, 1.5 minutes in. And I'm not just doing a hover test, I'm doing a real world type of flight, testing the battery capacity. So I'll push it a little bit, 17 miles an hour. Turn it around and just keep on going.
Low battery warning. The drone is under return to home soon. Cancel return.
So I got my 30% at 17 minutes. So I'll keep going until I drain it down.
Low battery warning. The drone is under return to home soon. Low battery warning. The drone is under return to home soon.
Alright, I'm at 22 minutes with 20% battery left. and I'm at 2942. So I'll go ahead and pop the white battery in and see what voltage I get whenever that one's completely depleted. All right, I got the white battery in. I'm at 100%, so I'm going to let this one drain down. Three, two, I'll go ahead and start to land it. One, and we'll land it. All right, let's go ahead and look at the voltages. Okay, here's my final thoughts on the 4200 milliamp battery. It's obvious to me that this does have a 4200 milliamp in there, or at least more than the 3000 milliamp battery. I charged both of them up to 4.35 volts and drained them both down to right around 3.6, 3.7 volts. So at 0%, both of the batteries showed right around 3.6 or 3.7. So the battery is not dropping down below the safe voltage as Hubsan may be saying that it's doing, and it's not charging over the 4.35 volts, but I'm still getting at least 8 minutes more flight time, and I actually flew the red battery around, the 4200 milliamp battery. I flew it the whole time, and the white battery, I let it sit at a hover, and I still had 8 minutes more on the 4200 milliamp battery. So that is telling me there is more capacity in that battery than there is in the 3000 milliamp battery. Now, in Hubsan's defense, I will say that most drone companies do not want you to have aftermarket batteries in their quads. They are programmed to operate with the original battery. And if you look at this picture here, this is when I used to build drones, and whenever you were setting them up, it recognized what battery you were using, but you had to tell it up at the top here what milliamps you were using. So it made its calculations, it made it 0 to 100% scale when it's telling you there's low battery. It made that scale based off of having whatever size milliamp battery you have in there. So we can't adjust that programming in our Zinos and tell it that it has a 4200 milliamp battery. So your Zino doesn't really know the exact amount of battery storage that you have left, because all the calculations were made based off of having a 3000 milliamp battery when you actually have a 4200 milliamp battery in there. That's why you saw I was at 30% battery and it's telling me to land, but I still had 10 minutes of battery left to fly. The battery indicator is not going to be accurate because there is a difference in the capacity of the battery. If anybody can explain this a little better than I have, please explain it down below. I'm trying to get the info out there to let people know that I don't think that the battery is causing the Zino to fall out the sky. What I think it is the Zino not knowing what to do with the battery. And I know if you update the app, you'll get battery warnings, and maybe at some point that battery warning switches into a automatic shut off and is causing the drones to fall out the sky. Because I only had the 4200 milliamp battery fall out of the sky once I upgraded the firmware to the latest firmware. Now, when I went ahead and downgraded, I have not had issues since. So for me, I'm saying I believe that it is the firmware that's the problem and not the battery itself. But again, the battery percentage is not reliable using the red battery because the Zino's not programmed to recognize that 4200 milliamps. So if this makes sense to you, leave a comment below. If it doesn't make sense to you, leave a comment below. Also, if you think I'm completely wrong about this, go ahead and leave your comments. I'll entertain them all. And I'll keep testing the Zino. Also have a power egg that I'll be putting out there pretty soon. And stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.